But we gotta get a little clearance first. Everybody probably think you was a cop.
On the streets, they call him Sicko, but his friends call him Jay. He's leader in one of the most feared gangs in America, the Bloods.
Projects. Yeah, came from the projects.
When he was 16, Jay joined the Bloods and quickly rose through the ranks to lead his chapter, or set.
Pretty much, we was a real defiant and destructive, rebellious ass set. I tell you, man, we beef with everybody. People had to go. You try to do something positive, these dudes, they run around shooting motherfuckers on the other end of the street.
When Jay was in college, his gang got into a beef with another gang. He was stabbed and bitten. He almost died. But as soon as he got out, Jay stabbed another gang member 16 times. He still has the newspaper announcing his capture after being on the run for 5.5 years.
Somewhere along the line, I found God, set me straight a little bit, found family, found togetherness, and I needed it.
That was Jay then. This is Jay now, talking to a group of families at a meeting of Community Board 6. Jay has one message: the street life is short.
I lived this life. I got shot at 1,000 times. 3 times with my daughter in the car. Homeboy got his throat slit, chopped up in Bison, D.C. I done been all around the damn world and then did nothing but nonsense, knucklehead shit for no reason. The cops can't protect you from that because that's in your own home. That's the kind of stuff that you need to rectify in your own life and in your own family. So all that not listening to your mother, you want to smoke weed, hang out with the boys, guess what? Your little homeboy could be a dead-ass killer. And that's the same one over a girlfriend, over a boyfriend, will smoke you. Get your life together, man, and get right, man. This is your community.
During the day, Jay patrols the streets looking for wannabe gang members.
The ones who are skipping school?
I don't know if he's skipping school now. I don't know. He's just a little badass. You know what I mean? Definitely a little street prodigy. Ain't no, yo, show your guns and your drug. Nah, she ain't nothing like that at all.
Jay knows that kids band together in gangs out of a need for protection. His own mother, now a grandmother of 4, remembers how Jay once had to fight gangs before he joined one.
He went to the park just to play, and his coat was taken from him. I mean, I don't know if it was gunpoint or whatever, but it was just taken from him. I knew he was angry as all, I just know he was furious. And I had to say, Jason, I'll handle it. I'll get it back.
On the streets, he's got a tough rep, but in unguarded moments, his eyes reveal a man haunted by crime he'd rather not talk about.
I've been hurt. I'm the victim in the first place. I wouldn't be doing half the stuff I was doing unless I was a victim at one point.
Jay says that the packs of kids in gangs are even larger than they were when he was young.
Now you walk around, it's like 15, 20 of them. You know what I'm saying? And out of the 20, you know, maybe like 3 or 4 packing a gun. It wasn't like that before. We couldn't even afford guns back then. We couldn't even afford guns like then. So, you know, it's a lot different now.
Every Thursday, the gang gets together at a friend's apartment in Harlem. Jay shares his feelings about why they joined the gang.
But I was going through so much shit in my household.
Yes.
As soon as I go outside, man, I'm waiting to let that shit loose. I can't beat my father. But I can damn sure take on some people outside, though. Man, listen, we used to play baseball together. And there'd be times where, you know what I'm saying, Papa Duke's father used to come drinking to the game. And I noticed he used to embarrass my nigga. I know he used to. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing I could do, back then we wasn't talking about shooting and stabbing nobody. It's just, how do you heal his hurt? Only thing we could do was like, yo, B, yo, I feel your pain. We rally up together and man, we just console each other, like, cause what kid supposed to do that? Like, that's a counselor's job. That's a therapist's job. Like, but we doing it. That's what forms a gang. When they start getting that tight, ain't nothing you can do. Jail time can't separate it. Death can't separate it. You know what I'm saying? Girlfriends can't separate it. So, what tight is actually going to be stronger than that?
He about to
The laughter and the jokes are all a mask that hides a deeper psychological pain, pain of lives taken and lost.
How many people did you end up hurting in your life, physically?
It's countless. I don't know. It's countless.
Our homeboy, rest in peace, on 1999? Yeah, 99, he's playing basketball and he got low bridge where he was in the air and caught a mini heart attack. He collapsed and cracked his head open. Harlem Hospital was right behind him. They took about, half an hour, 45 minutes to come and get him. He died. He died that year.
How many people have you lost, would you say?
It's over 20. Over 20.
And Justin?
Man, I lost count, to be honest with you. And I ain't trying to count.
Right. Shit, the new thing now is not to even make friends. But you might lose them.
I had to go to 2 funerals in 1 week. So it just happened to be a boiling point for me. And after the funerals, I was still using drugs at the time. I just exploded. I decided to go in and speak to a doctor because that's the first time I actually cut.
No, that was the last cut. That was like months ago. That was like 3, 4 months ago. Do I get the urge? I get the urge every day. That was my high. I don't need drugs, I don't need liquor, I can cut. It's either you're gonna get Jay that can cope through life and cutting, or you're gonna get some type of a monster.
My child at 9, 10, and 11 was sitting here using fire and electricity to make another pain so he wouldn't have to deal with the world. I told you, I always knew he was very, very sensitive and always, took on too much feelings of the outside world, but I didn't know he did that.
To ease his own pain at the loss of so many friends, Jay at 15 began to use painkillers. At one point, he was taking as many as 25 pills. Then he would go out and rob, stab, and shoot to make sure the gang lived longer than he did.
So, you pop pills and things of that nature. Hopefully you can go out, peacefully. No one is gonna notice. You're not gonna freak nobody out with a big bloodbath or a pool of blood on the floor. It'll just be quiet.
David Grand is a clinical social worker and psychotherapist who works with young men like Jay. He calls them hyper-traumatized.
To say someone is very traumatized is a powerful statement, but to say someone is hyper-traumatized, it goes so well beyond that. He has been, exposed to trauma and violence, family violence and then community violence and gang violence, so much for a person, I think he's in his mid-20s. It really led him to also have, in addition to trauma, a deep, abiding depression. And in that depression, there was a great deal of self-destructiveness that he acted out behaviorally and physically against himself.
There's 2 different kind of cuts you can do. One is orchestrated cuts, where you just depress, maybe the whole day, and you finally get up the courage to get the cutting. So when you cut, it's usually like meaningful. That's why a lot of the words say hate, no, trust no one, and stuff like that. That's where that comes from. Then the other one is rage, when something suddenly happens, and I end up cutting out of rage, which is it's no control to it. That's why the cuts are so much deeper. That's why they're so much longer.
Now Grand is using sound to heal trauma in the brain.
As you put them on, you're going to hear an ocean wave that goes from the left to the right. Okay, what this does is it helps your brain to move things around, which your brain knows how to do just naturally.
That's my homeboy hood.
Your own
Homeboy hood.
homeboy hood?
Yeah, that he died up in a early cul-de-sac.
What do you feel it physically? Chest, stomach, head, neck, feet, neck? Okay, bring that back onto the pointer.
I want to go back to just not really dealing with or just put my hands out behind my back.
Okay, that might be a memory, an actual memory. you think you've ever had your hands tied behind your back? So you've had handcuffs on, right? You've worked very hard to turn your life around, okay? And I'm wondering if there's any self-support or self-praise you can give yourself now in the face of that self-criticism or feeling like an ass?
But, you know, even if I do give myself self-praise now, a little boost of inspiration, it's still, they gone. You can't
Okay.
get the time back
Okay.
at all.
But beating yourself up for it, does that serve their loss of life and your loss of them?
You know?
How does it feel to start with that, the trauma of his loss and being informed of it, to come to this final conclusion that you're not going to go the same route? How does it feel right this moment?
Feel good. That's why we got a lot of work to do. I know that.
You know what I mean? But
To the aspiring gangsters out there hoping to one
Right,
day
right,
take
right,
Jay's
right,
place, he has one message.
what you need to pack a gun for? I done watched you grow up since you was yay high. I done took the bullet shells and the stabbings and the beat downs for you. I done deal with the cop harassment for you. You don't need to do that. It's no need for you to go out there and be no tough guy. I done did it for you.